Hey guys, welcome back. Are we all refreshed and ready to work on our business and marketing plans? I hope that the review was helpful. So basically what we're going to do now is jump right into what is going to be the beginning of the marketing portion of your business plan, and it's going to kind of set the foundation for next week when we get more into your client and your brand. So this is really important work, but I want you to have fun with it and keep it simple. So I have broken down this lesson plan into 5 pieces that you can break up over time, or you can do all at once. It looks like a lot of work, but a lot of it is really just me clarifying and giving you examples, so don't freak out by the length of this page. What you're basically going to do in part 1, you're going to start off with just a brainstorm session. And I want you to keep it really simple. I want you to set a timer if you're an overthinker like myself, and I want you to just bullet point stuff. You can do this digitally or prefer in your notebook. Again, it activates a different part of your system because you're using a physical muscle that you don't use when you're on the computer. So I do recommend you write it, but to each their own. Anyway, so you're just going to write down, I've got some prompts. Skip anything that feels uncomfortable. Skip anything that keeps you feeling like you're going to be stuck or you don't want to move forward. Just bullet point answers. You're going to write some answers around people that you like to hang out with and personality traits and things like that. This is all going to lay the foundation for who your ideal client is. Then you're going to answer some questions around jobs or industries that you might be interested in, hobbies you might have, the type of projects that you've done in the past, and that's going to kind of lay the groundwork for your niche, which is your area of expertise, and for your target market or target industry, and how you're going to kind of position yourself in a niche. Niche market is what people call it. It's kind of a weird thing. Niche is technically your specialty, what you do, and the target market is who you do it for, but we call it a niche market. It's one of those weird overlapping things. Don't get caught up on terminology, right? So you're going to look at that. You're going to also create a list. Once you have kind of that list of the industries, the people you might be interested in, you're going to kind of think about some problems that you might solve better than somebody else. And then you're going to put all of that together. Or actually, then you're going to do a little research in part 2 on the target market. So you're going to look at those industries that you identified in your brainstorm. You're going to pick a couple of them to focus on, and you're going to do a super high level quick search just to get an idea of the size of the industry, meaning how much money is in that industry or how many businesses are in that business industry, that sort of thing. So you can get an idea of scale and whether or not you're thinking of going into an industry that's growing or one that's shrinking. Like video games is an example I use in here. It's a huge industry, couple $1 billion, like $20 billion industry. It's huge and rapidly growing, right? Newspapers is one that I didn't use because it's kind of, the print is dead. That might not be a place you want to target your business, even if that's a type of work you do. So if that's something that you run up against, you want to think about how you could modify your journalism to work in online versus print, that sort of thing. So you just want to get an idea of the size and scope of the industry for 2 reasons. 1, like I said, is it growing? Is it dying? And 2, to keep you in that abundance mindset, because sometimes we forget that businesses are big and business industries are really big. And if you're going into an industry where there's $24 billion in sales, there is bound to be a percentage of the companies in that industry that really value what you do and really need your services and will pay good rates. But sometimes we forget that because we get stuck working with clients in other industries that don't value us and don't value the prices that we charge. And we forget that there is a lot of money available out there for us to take. So that is part 2. And then in part 3, you're just going to refine down on that. Now that you've got an industry, you're going to pick an industry, and then you're going to do a little bit of work thinking about who's actually hiring you at the company and what type of company is actually in that industry. Because if you take a really broad industry, you've got a lot of different companies in that industry. Like if you took athletic apparel as an example I use on this page, you've got huge companies in athletics like Nike, right? The 20 to 50, I think they're actually closer to 50,000 employees now. And then you've got smaller stuff, like you've got Lululemon, who maybe has 1,000 or 5,000 employees, right? And you want to look at what type of company are you most interested in working with, or type of project, and then further narrow that down and think about who's hiring you. So for those of you, I want to mention this really quickly. It's mentioned in the lesson as well. We do have two types of people in this program. We've got the traditional creator freelancer, and you're going to be looking more for businesses, right? You're selling a creative service to a business. We also have some coaches and consultants that are coming in that work directly with consumers. You're going to look at your actual client. So when you do this, if you're a coach or a consultant side, you're working directly with a consumer. You want to look more on the demographics of the person. You'll start with the industry, like personal coaching or health coaching or real estate, whatever that industry is. But then you want to look at the person that you're actually going to work with and what their needs are when you get to that piece. So quick little caveat there. But back to that, if you are the traditional freelancer and you want to work for small to mid-sized businesses, what I want you to think about is who's actually searching for you. Is it the CEO? Is it the project manager? Is it the secretary? You know, who's doing the search, and what information are they looking for? What problem are they trying to solve? So that's what you're looking for here when you do that. And in exercise 4, you're just going to bring everything together. It's a super simple. You're just taking all of the research and brainstorming that you did and putting it together into a paragraph form that makes you feel good about where you're going. You're going to reuse that in our business plan tomorrow. And then exercise 5 is totally optional but highly recommended. And then that's just making a list of the clients that you don't want to work with. Because while most of the battle is figuring out who you do want to work with and who you can help more, you want to keep in mind who you are no longer going to waste your time on. Because those clients, the time vampires, the people who want to negotiate your rates and want the best deal, those are not people that you want to waste a single minute on anymore in your 6-figure business. While that's not so much a marketing issue, you're not going to market to those people. You're going to market to your ideal client. So that's going to weed a lot of them out. If you let those people in, as we occasionally do, that's going to eat into your operations, because the more time you spend working on a client from hell means the less time you have to spend on the rest, or on building your business or building your passive income, right? So just make a list of the things that you will no longer settle for in your business if you already have a business, or what you will not settle for, period, if this is a brand new business, because we want to design a business that you absolutely love no matter what. You're going to have hard days, of course, but you do not need to build a business working with clients that you hate. So let's figure it out. Have fun.